everybody? Lord Tremendous here. Got a battle report here for you. Battle report number 6. I'm cranking them out. What can I say? It is a 1,500 point battle. Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Thousand Suns, versus Daka Daka of the Tau. And yes, I know Daka Daka is an orc term. This guy usually plays orcs, but he was painting up an army for a buddy of his, had it at the store, wanted to try it out, so we threw the F down. And I'm not going to change his name. Daka Daka is a good name for this guy, and one day you'll understand why, because eventually I'll get a game with him where he's playing as orcs. But anyway, this is a really... how do I put this? This is a one-sided fight. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes. Here's my list, and there's no change, but I am aware now of the FAQ to Exalted Sorcerers, so this list is technically illegal, but I had no idea at the time. So I have my Exalted Sorcerer on a disc. He's got an Infernal Bolt Pistol, Force Staff, and Frag and Crack Grenades. Just at the time, it seemed smarter and cheaper to use him instead of Ahriman on a disc. Now it's smarter to use Ahriman because he's only like 4 or 5 points more than an Exalted on a disc. So it is what it is. I've got another Exalted Sorcerer. This guy's on foot. He's got a Force Staff, Infernal Bolt Pistol, and Frag and Crack Grenades. Then I've got a unit of 10 Rubric Marines with 6 Infernal Bolters, 2 Warp Flamers, a Soul Reaper Cannon, and then the Sorcerer has a Force Staff and an Infernal Bolt Pistol as well. This is a badass unit. And in my 2,000 point list, I plan on running 2 groups of 10. Then I have a unit of 15 Zangors with Auto Pistols, Chain Swords, and an Instrument of Chaos. And I've got 1 Hellbrute, not 2, sorry, it's the only picture I got. With a Multimelta and a Hellbrute Fist. There's nothing in the Hellbrute Fist. I did that because I needed the points. I've got this badass unit of 5 Scarab Occult Terminators with 3 Infernal Combo Bolters, 4 Power Swords, a Soul Reaper Cannon, a Hellfire Missile Rack, and then the Sorcerer has a Force Staff and an Infernal Combo Bolter. This is a terrifying unit. Look at them. Look how angry they are. I mean, I guess if I was Dust, I'd be pissed off too. Then I've got this magnificent bastard, this I win button, the easy mode, my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous. He's got Titanic Feet, Thermal Cannon, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, and 2 Heavy Stubbers. This guy is a game winner. I've said it 100 times, I'm going to say it again right now. It's like cheating using this guy. That's going to do it for my list. Opponent, like I said, this isn't his army. He was putting it together and painting it for a buddy of his, so he just kind of threw it on the table and WYSIWYG'd it, because it's not really that hard to do that, but I have no idea what any of this stuff was. To be perfectly honest, he didn't fully understand how everything worked, because it's not his army, so I don't have his list. Sorry. Here's deployment, and it was just 12 inches in. It's crazy. We rolled for a mission, and I think I rolled a 2, and that's kill each other, kill points. And then for deployment, we just said 12 inches in, let's kick the crap out of each other, because honestly, it's easier than having to set everything up, and yada, yada, yada. And damn it, we're having fun. It's a friendly game. So there you go. I've got my Zangors, my Hellbrute, and my Exalted Sorcerer on foot over on the right there in the forest. Once again, it's just, it's where I felt they belonged. Really, the Hellbrute is going to try to shoot up the right flank there and take out whatever that he can. Or, you know, targets of opportunity, because I don't know anything about Tau. I've never faced them before in 8th. I think maybe not even in 7th. So this is an exploratory game for me. In the middle, I've got my Rubric Marines and my Exalted Sorcerer on a disc behind them to give him the 1-up rerolls. I've got my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous, on the left side there to just walk forward and open up on anything that he can. And the plan is to send my knights to the right side there and sweep through the infantry, because I know Tau shooting is supposed to be really, really good, but since I don't know how good it is, I'm thinking a 2-up armor should be enough to get me through most of it. We'll see how that goes. Really, that's it for deployment. So I won the roll to go first, and he did not steal the initiative, so here is top of 1 after movement. And I ain't no punk beep. Yeah, fuck it. I ain't no punk bitch. So I came forward. Pretty much enabled or enacted my plan. The Zangors advanced because honestly, I don't think he's coming forward. His four big things, three ships, I didn't think they were transports. I don't think I asked him if there was anything in them, but I was pretty positive they weren't transports or anything like that, just given where they were at. And his infantry certainly didn't need to come up to meet me, so I advanced with the Zangors, who need to get within 12 inches to be useful. My sorcerer, I should have probably advanced with him as well, but I don't think I did, which was stupid because it's not like he's going to do anything with his pistol and 18-inch range smite. So, whatever. And then I advanced with my Hellbrute, or I'm sorry, I did not. I moved normally with my Hellbrute so he could shoot his multi-melta. Even if it's just an infantry, it's a more or less guaranteed kill. The Terminators came down on the right side there, as you can see, to start dealing with the infantry as soon as possible. Although I did want to put a lot of wounds in his big robot, because if Lord Tremendous has taught me anything, it's that big robots are friggin' terrifying. So yeah, I had my sights set on him big time. My Rubric Marines moved up there, pandering 5 inches. I kept my Exalted Sorcerer on a disc right behind him just because it was safer. I don't know what he has. I don't know if he can snipe, but what I do know is that I don't want to lose my Exalted Sorcerer right away. And then Lord Tremendous came up on the left side there because more or less I feel safe moving him closer because I don't think anything's going to assault me in the Tau army. And even though I don't need to get closer to get in range, it'll be better because then I can eventually assault those ships in the back. And that's really it for movement. In the psychic phase we go, and my Terminator Sorcerer is able to drop one of his Fire Warriors with Smite, which is always nice. It's got to start somewhere, and it started right here. Nothing else happens in the psychic phase because everything's out of range. So we go into shooting, and my Terminators open up. I think they kill a couple of more, 2 or 3 more of the infantry there. Maybe a little bit more than that. There seems to be a little pile on the right side. I can't remember exactly what number it was. But the big news is I put 3 wounds with the Soul Reaper cannon alone onto his big Magna robot thing, and that's awesome. Hit 3 times, wounded 3 times, and all 3 got through. Now, that being said, my opponent did not know that the robot had an invulnerable save. Like I said, not his army, doesn't fully understand it. I've never seen anything like it before, so just full disclosure, letting you know he was not playing at full power. The Rubric Marines were having a little trouble seeing. They opened fire on the Fire Warriors ahead of them and dropped 1. Hey, 1 is better than none, all right? And it was a long distance. They were just in range, so yeah, 1 guy dies. Over here, my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous, opens up on the big robot. The battle cannon, the thermal cannon, both go into him. I fire the heavy stubber at the Fire Warriors in front of him, and I don't think I kill any, maybe 1, but it's not really a big deal. But on the big robot, I get 10 wounds through. Now, that being said, I hit and wounded, and 2 got through with the thermal cannon, and they do D6 wounds each, right? I rolled snake eyes for the amount of wounds. I'm in the middle of the store, and I swear, I'm like, fuck! I felt bad. I typically try not to scream swear words when I'm at the store, but I did in this situation. Although, I believe that this situation very much called for a screamed swear word. So, yeah, it should have been more, but I guess, again, 2 is better than 0. And, yeah, my battle cannon is what really did the damage, so that was awesome. This thing has 13 wounds on it in the first round of shooting. I really shouldn't complain, but that Snake Eyes to wound or wounds roll really, really took the steam out of me. We go over here to bottom 1 after movement because there was no assaulting. That's for damn sure last turn. I did try with the Terminators and they failed. I think they needed like a 10 or an 11 to make it. Anyway, my opponent goes, and other than his infantry on the right there in the ruins, adjusting a little bit, there's really no movement. It's Tau. They don't need to move. I don't believe he has Psyker Phase, so we go into shooting, and he opens up on my Zangors with his Fire Warriors out there. He did try firing off a whole bunch of marker lights, and needing 2s, he rolled so many 1s, we started to think that the table was haunted. Still not sure it's not, but anyway, he opens fire with the deadly stuff and drops 3 Zangors, which, even without marker lights, that's impressive. Then the Fire Warriors in front, not to be outdone, open up on the Rubik Marines and return to favor, killing only one. You know, give and take. And then his big robot fires at the Terminators, who did get marker lit. And thankfully, he's in the lower category. I think maybe the bottom category of his damage chart. He only is able to get one Terminator dead, and I think it's because he did multiple wounds. So yeah, I'm glad that thing is malfunctioning. Then I think it's one of his weird battle tank things open up on the Zangors, dropping 2 more, which actually I think he did a lot more damage than I'm just rolling good 5-ups. Something else opens up on the Rubik Marines. I honestly can't remember what, killing 2 of them, or killing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, killing another one of them, I'm sorry. And I leave them over on the side there for morale checks, so I know how much to add to my dice rolls to see if any of them run off. But yeah, I lost another one, and they're still tough as hell. And then one of the tanks hits Lord Tremendous in the face. Hits him, a bunch of them hit him with the big cannons or whatever, and I ward saved most of them, but as you can see, I am marker lit, so he gets a reroll and everything, and bottom line, he takes 5 wounds this turn. Not enough. Not enough, and he's going to exact some revenge next turn, which I'm excited about. Nothing happens in the assault phase, but in the morale phase, 3 of my Zangors have had enough of this fight and flee off the table. That's why I bring 15. Here we are in top of 2 after movement, and as you can see, I continue my trundling forward. My Terminators on the right flank there move closer to the infantry and their 4-inch movement. Again, I plan on finishing off the big robot this turn, but at the same time, I want to close in on the Tau because I'm thinking assaulting him is a good idea because I can't imagine they're any good in close combat. Zangors move up into the ruins just because it's in their way to get closer so they can open up on the infantry with their auto pistols. My, what's it called? Hellbrute, he comes up on the right flank as well. He wants to shoot at either the tanks or the robot with the multi-melta. And my Exalted Sorcerer tries to follow behind him. I'm close enough now for Smite, so I don't want to advance. The Rubik Marines move up their 5 with my Exalted Hero or Sorcerer on a disc right behind them to give them the re-rolling 1s. And Lord Tremendous moves up his 12 inches because, you know what, if I can get close enough to assault, I'm going to. And that's it for movement. We go into the Psychic phase, and my Terminator Sorcerer tries to cast Smite, and I roll Snake Eyes, which means I have Perils of the Warp to deal with. Ugh. Results of which is my Sorcerer dies. I do 2 mortal wounds to him. There's nothing I can do. Now, what I did not know, and it was just brought up to my attention today, which is almost a week after I played this game, when the character dies to perils, everything within 6 inches takes D3 mortal wounds as well. We did not do that here, and it's because we didn't know. Simple as that. I honestly don't own a rule book. My opponent didn't. He probably doesn't know because he doesn't use Psychers, so that's why my Terminators are still standing there 3 strong. I had no flippin' idea that D3 mortal wounds were going around the table, so that's why we're sitting like this, and that's how it happened. Over here, my Exalted Sorcerer on foot is able to do Smite on the unit of infantry on the left there in the ruins and kill 2 of them, which is outstanding. We go into the shooting phase, and the Terminators open up on the infantry with their combo bolters, and then everything else goes into the what's it called? I actually don't know what it's called. The big robot, the Magna robot. I'm able to kill 5 of the infantry, which is gorgeous, and I put another 4 wounds on the robot, bringing him up to 17 wounds. Ooh, baby. I've got that robot's number. It helps that he's not using his invul save. And then my gorgeous Hellbrute fires his multi-melta at the big robot, hits, wounds, does like 5 wounds, whatever it takes, kills the robot dead. It does not explode, but it's off the table, and that right there is sexy. There's only one Mega Robot on the table, damn it, and it's Lord Mother Effin' Tremendous. My Rubik Marines open up on the Fire Warriors in front of them, and I think I kill another 1 or 2, 3, 6, 7, so maybe just 1 more. Not a big deal, but hey, every one counts. And then Lord Tremendous opens up. As you can see on the left side there, there's a character. He infiltrated or something like that in the ruins. I fired at him, and I think I only did like 1 wound to him. Everything else I fired into the tank on the left there, and I did 8 wounds to that. So pretty effective, and next turn I'm hoping to assault and be able to do some serious damage in close combat as well. So my Terminators assault the little unit of Fire Warriors over there on the right side and make it no problem. They overwatch, but they don't do anything. Then my Zangors try to do the same thing to the unit in front of them, and I find out what they're like. I don't even remember what it's called, for the greater good or whatever the hell the rule is, but when you assault Tau, all the stuff around them can overwatch as well if they're within a certain amount of inches. I can't remember if it's 3 or 6. Holy crap! Like 4 or 5 of my Zangors die. I've only got like 3 left, and I don't make the charge. Oh man, so needless to say, I didn't call any more assaults. In combat, my Terminators have no problem eating up their infantry, and then with the 3-inch reconciliation, I don't think I get anyone in combat, but I'm a lot closer, and but I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to try to assault again. That Overwatch was devastating. In the morale phase, my opponent rolls high, and 3 more Fire Warriors flee off the table, or get shot as they sprint out of cowardice, however you want to see it go. With that over, here's bottom of 2 after movement, and again, it's Tau. They don't really move. I don't even think his infantry moved. So, yeah, I mean, everything's pretty much right where it was. That's it for movement. We go into the shooting phase, and I don't remember exactly what's shooting at me, but my opponent is starting to roll worse and worse and worse. He fires at my Terminators, and even with a marker light on him, only 1 wound gets through. And then he opens fire on my Zangors and kills off the entire unit. So the Zangors eat it without really doing anything this game, but they were a nice little distraction, and I'll take what I get. And then, yes, as you can see, they were marker lighted as well. Yeah, that's it for his turn. I told you, he is rolling awful. So here's top of 3 after movement, and I continue to get closer, but I don't want to assault. I'm really afraid to assault now after what happened last turn. So I think I've got him in shooting. This is more of a shooty list anyway, so I'm going to play to my strengths. Everything kind of closes in. The Rubric Marines, the Disc character, the Exalted Hero, the Hellbrood, the Terminators, and Lord Tremendous. Everybody moves up, and the Zangors are there in spirit. That's it for movement. In the Psychic phase, my Exalted Sorcerer on a disc uses Smite on the little unit of Fire Warriors in front of us there, killing 2 of them. Not bad, not bad. That's been a very resilient unit so far, and I resent them for it. My Exalted Sorcerer on foot, which isn't pictured here, is able to get Smite off on the Fire Warriors in the middle there because they were the closest, and takes out 3 of them. It was a Mega Smite, which is, or I'm sorry, it was a regular Smite, but it was max wounds on D3, so that was awesome. We go into the shooting phase, and my Terminators open up on the tank that was wounded by Lord Tremendous last turn, and it dies. It doesn't blow up, I don't think, but it does go away, and that's outstanding. Only 2 left. And then my Rubric Marines open up on the warriors in front of him, and I roll horribly. My opponent makes his saves, and he didn't have to make many. The Soul Reaper Cannon did fire at the tank in the middle there, and did like 1 wound to it, so that's kind of cool. I mean, you know. Lord Tremendous fires everything he's got at the ship in the middle, and it's destroyed, and as you can see, there's the 6, it explodes. It hits the Fire Warriors in front, it hits the tank next to it, and it hits the 1 character that's unpainted in the ruins there. It's just a little bit off, doesn't hit anything else. Oh my god, my Renegade Knight is too good! Yes, it was that beautiful. 1 more Fire Warrior dies, 2 wounds go on to his character, and 1 wound goes on to his tank. So, mini, small, tactical contained explosion, but still super effective given what's left on the table. I like it when things blow up and I'm not in the blast. I'm feeling a little bold, so I assault with my Terminators into the characters, and I assault with my Renegade Knight into the 1 remaining Fire Warrior, and we both make it. They do Overwatch, but there's so little left that they can't really hurt me, and yeah, we make it in unscathed. Start off with Lord Tremendous, and he mulches the Fire Warrior like he was nothing, which is exactly what should happen. He reconciles 3 inches, but I don't believe it's close enough to bring the tank into the fight, which, it's fine. I'll be there in a minute. In combat over here, I kill 1 of his characters and do another wound, I think, to his tank. It's not enough to finish everything off, but he's not able to do anything back to me, so it's looking pretty good for the home team here. I end my turn. My opponent looks at the board and goes, "You know what? You got this. I quit." And I can't blame him. I totally get it. He'd want to play it to the end because he knew it was going to go. It was going too well for me. And his dice, like I said, they were so awful. I swear to, we were literally telling the shop owner that this table was haunted and he needed a young priest, an old priest, and gallons of holy water. The owner ignored us, so this table is still haunted as far as we know. But yeah, there's the end of the game right there, guys and gals, and it was a tremendously one-sided game, to put it kind of like a dick. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of screaming, yelling, and laughing. So, those are always good games. But yeah, I think I'm starting to figure this army out a little bit. I know I'm not using them super efficiently, but slowly but surely I'm getting there, and I'm very pleased with what I've got so far. But, we'll get to the recap in a minute, because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright everybody, as you saw, I have some exquisitely painted models that look amazing on the tabletop. I do. It's not me bragging, it's me telling the truth. They are gorgeous. And if you've watched my battle reports ever, you know I didn't flip and paint them. No, all credit goes to Big Tom from Big Tom Painting. He does all my work, he does all for my 40K models, he did all of it on commission, and he did a gorgeous, beautiful, excellent job. I mean, second to none. Look, I'm not making this up. Look at the pictures. They're close up for a reason. So if you've got models you don't want to put together, you don't want to paint, you don't want the hassle, you don't want the bother, send Big Tom an email. Doesn't cost you anything to send an email. Doesn't bother you. It's a little bit of time. You spend more time, clipping your fingernails than you will sending his email. Tell him what you got, tell him what you're looking for, and see what he quotes you. Worst comes to worst, you get the coolest models in your club to kick ass and take names with. And you're never going to regret it. This is money well friggin' spent. So stop having, empty or unpainted models. Nobody likes seeing that garbage. And start having some models you can actually be proud to put on the table and beat your friends with. Tell them Tremendous send you. You won't regret it. So, yes, as I'm sure you put together by now, this was a victory for Lord Tremendous. My opponent conceded the game on turn 3. I ended up losing a unit of Zangor, so yeah, needless to say, this game, like I said in the beginning, was very one-sided. Wasn't my opponent's army, his dice were awful, the table was possessed, there were a lot of issues that gave me a huge advantage, and you know what, I don't care though, I'll take victories any way I can get them. I mean, yeah, there's no way to really beat around the bush about it. That went really well for me. The poor Tau, nothing was going their way. Everything went my way, and while I liked that, I felt a little bad because, this is my friend, and it was just supposed to be a friendly game. I didn't mean to crush his soul, but it wasn't his army, so what can he do? Lord Tremendous couldn't stop hitting to save his life, which is outstanding. That's what I need him to do. And my Terminators were absolutely amazing this game. They've really come into their own. Ever since they started zipping up their armor, they've survived more games, and I'm proud of them. I really am. So, like I said, mistakes were made in this game. My opponent was playing with a friend's army. He had no idea what he was doing with it. He was just having some fun. He didn't know that his big robot had an invulnerable save. He tells me later, I'm playing another game after this, and that's when he comes up to me and goes, "It had an invulnerable save." Oh, damn. He didn't know how a lot of his stuff worked, and neither did I. And one thing that I did learn about the Tau, though, is that their Overwatch ability is terrifying. I don't think I'll be assaulting Tau anytime soon, especially if they're all grouped up together. But yeah, I don't think there's anything in particularly wrong with Tau as an army, because the owner of the army came at the end of this game, and he got his army, and he went and played against a Space Marine player, and beat him pretty badly with the same army I just faced. So I don't think it's a Tau army. I think maybe if my opponent wasn't playing with one arm cut off and a leg hobbled, he would have been able to definitely put up a better fight than this, because he would have used them to their full potential. But, that's why I play games like this, to learn. This was definitely a fun game, though, not just because everything went my way. we really were hooting and hollering. This is a great opponent. He really is. This is actually Gnome Runner from my 9th Age battle reports, and I can't wait to 1v1 him when he's playing his orcs, because I think it's very much going to go against me when I face off with him for that. In fact, I almost guarantee it. We played a 2v2 game, and his shooting destroyed my knight in one round. It was awful and amazing all at the same time. But yes, I will face off on this guy again, and I have no doubt he's going to hand me my ass. But there you have it, guys and gals. Battle Report number 6 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.